My aim is to give you such a great video that you'll want to share it. My name's D7 at Grok Trade, and this is the weekend edition. Good through Sunday. Sunday, November 1st, 2015. We have rounded out October. And hitting the ground running because we have a ton of information to get through. The SP 500 ETF. Rising wedge, rising wedge, rising wedge. And if you'll look here on this rising wedge, we failed on this last pop to hit resistance. That makes us exponentially that much more bearish here. We started to drop. We found support. What I want to do is look at volume. Volume on Friday on the drop increase. We had sell volume increase. Let's look at the MACD. MACD, we remain in this bearish divergence. We go higher here on price action. We go lower here on the MACD. Furthermore, if you look here, we have a negative tick on the histogram. So that should start going lower now. And that means we had a crossover of the MACD line and the signal line heading down. That tells me we are more bearish on the daily on the SP 500 than we are bullish. But we're still above moving averages, still heading higher. But I'm saying that this is troubling. What I like to do is go to the higher time frame. Let's go to the weekly chart and see if we can glean anything from this. On the weekly chart on the SP 500, we went higher. We started rolling over. And after that rollover, we got a breakdown, huge breakdown, rallied, breakdown, up, higher on volume, going lower. That is not a good sign. Now we come up. After several bars higher, we are looking to pause and to pull back. This would be a great pullback area. So next week, if we get a nice pop, we're going to pop right into resistance, and that should pull back from there. However, I'm not sure if it's going to do that. If you look here coming across, we have these two lines of previous areas of support now serving as resistance, and we're right at it. So people sold into that strength. If we do make a lower low, if the spider gets below 205, I'd be looking to sell this market for several weeks to the downside. You could pause the video right there, and that is worth its the price of admission. Look here at the histogram. It's ticking lower. That means the MACD line and the signal line are coming together. It looks like it's ready to flip. Histogram tick to the negative side. Hasn't happened yet, but looks like it's going to. Now it would be a crossover taking place here. If that happens, that you'll see big red weekly candlesticks dropping. I like to also look at the monthly while we're here. The monthly went higher, big drop. And here's our pop. Month's over, gang, and volume was just normal on that big pop. And we came up to resistance. So what has on the monthly been acting as support now is serving as resistance. So that's another bad sign. The markets are set up to drop is what the S&P is showing us. However, I want to bring in some other indices. And this here is the Nasdaq. Now the Nasdaq is in a beautiful, nice uptrend. Up. Looking great. This is the cues here. We pause at an area of resistance. If I come across, you'll see this. Look at this resistance. We hit our head and then dropped. We are back to that area again. So the question is, will this be a high base? Will we build a base and then break out and continue in this up channel? Not sure. Last time we hit this level, we dropped. We're at that level right now. The question is, will we drop? This is on a daily chart. Volume has been very light for the Nasdaq as of recently. Let's go to the weekly chart on the Nasdaq. Had a rising wedge, big drop. We broke support. Now support, now is acting as resistance. We're right here at resistance. On a weekly chart, looks like this is warning. I put a warning sign here. This thing looks like it's ready to drop. This is a great place to see the market drop. Furthermore, if you look down here at the MACD, Histogram is ticking lower. That means the MACD line, signal line coming to closer and closer from actually crossing. Once it crosses, you'll see a flip take place. Let's go to the monthly chart. The monthly chart is actually still bullish. And check this out, big rising wedge. We broke down. We popped. I've been calling for this pop. You'll see for last month I've had this up arrow. We rallied and we actually closed above the trend line. If I go and make this to a line, you'll see we're above it. We ticked higher than that area. That is more bullish than it is bearish. So that is something to be watching for. Nasdaq could pull the markets out of this fork in the road to go more bullish than bearish, because everything is pointing bearishly right now. Everything is. However, the Nasdaq Monthly not looking too badly. I like to look at the banks. Banks can tell us a lot. This is the Banks Daily. It's the largest index. It's a Nasdaq index, largest index of 470 banks or so. Hit resistance. Look at this. Resistance, hit it, and we since dropped. Big drop. We have this triangle formation above the moving averages right now, but we did get a crossover on the MACD with a negative tick on the histogram, a big tick lower. Banks very soft. When everyone else is stalled, the banks are showing something far different. Big weakness in the markets, and that's usually a tell. If you look to the weekly chart, check this out. We've had this warning forever. Big drop, bear pullback, or a bear flag. We went higher. We get a shooting star reversal pattern. We come back down. Looks like this dude's ready to drop. Can we get anything from the MACD? Let's look here. MACD has a very little positive histogram tick. The lines are getting ready to cross. If they cross and turn over and drop, you're going to see red candlesticks dropping southbound. Again, this is the weekly chart. Let's look at the monthly chart on the banks. Big, nasty rising wedge. Well, let's see if the MACD can tell us anything. I'm going to make my MACD quite a bit bigger and say, all right, we have this swing high going higher, this swing high. This swing high is going lower. Look at the difference here. This is going higher, this is going lower. This is a rising wedge. This is confirming the rising wedge. So this is problematic. We went as high, look at this. For the month, we went up and touched resistance. For the month, went down and touched support. Really validating those two lines quite a bit in October. We can continue higher. That can happen. But this is a rising wedge. That's more bearish than it is bullish. The banks are in significant trouble. All right, for you gold bugs, for you people that like silver and gold, we're going to go into silver and gold. Take a look at the daily chart. Big, wide, large trading range, upward channel. I see this continuing up, but this has a long way it could drop here. A lot of volume moving into what that had been Wednesday's trading day when we hit resistance. So it's very interesting to see if it will make it back down to this trend line. If not, I just see, just be careful with silver. Let's see if we can glean anything from the weekly. If the weekly, now this is interesting, big falling wedge, very bullish because we went to the right side of it, bull side of it. We've pulled back here, and we haven't broken down below this area that should be support. As long as we stay above the 20-week moving average on silver, this silver could be bullish. Now, if you look at the MACD, we already have a crossover. You can see the crossover right here and a bearish tick on the histogram. So if this dude's going to get bullish, it needs to happen right now. If you look here at the monthly chart on silver, it has already broken over a resistance area on the monthly. The monthly is bullish. This could be a bottom, as far as the monthly is concerned, a bottom for silver. Silver probably more than likely has put in its bottom. on long term. If you again, if you know anybody that's into trading silver and gold, share this video. Let's go to gold, daily chart on gold. This trend line coming down has been there forever. We're finding support here, but we just cracked below it. Just cracked below it. So we have two other trend lines. Look at those two that are parallel going higher. We're still in an uptrend, but I'm not thinking that we're going to bounce because we broke that. We could head down a little bit before we do bounce on gold. Let's go here to the weekly chart. Weekly chart, falling wedge. We broke above this, small pullback on light volume. So I'm okay with the volume on this. But we'd have a histogram negative tick, a crossover on the MACD. So if it's going to bounce, it needs to bounce very quickly on the monthly chart. Very, very quickly. All right, so on the monthly chart, on gold, we have this falling wedge. We're looking very, very, I mean, it could be a very bullish move for us. I'm going to reset our MACD here. Look at this, nice positive tick, crossover to the upside, falling wedge, breakout, but it came right back down. Look at this, it came right back down. It's right at the place where it could continue down, but this technically is broken. This is a monthly chart that is showing that we could have put in a bottom. We could have put in a bottom for gold. Gold is probably at a bottom at these levels right now. Let's look at the VIX Volatility Index, and I want to look at the daily chart first. Big pop. That means if you go higher on the VIX, that means the markets are fearful, and the markets are going down. Here, as of late, the markets have been going up, 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 up. This is a bull flag, looking like it's trying to put in a bottom, like it wants to perhaps go higher on the daily chart. That means the markets would be going bearish. If you look here at the weekly chart, huge volume on the VIX, huge volume as we started pulling back here. And as we pulled back, the volume dissipating, but look at the volume compared to the previous months. It's just a lot of volume here. So this could be capitulation down here at these lows. This looks like capitulation. Look for this to reverse and head upward with ferocity. If that happens on the VIX, that means the markets will crash, okay? I'm just looking at technical analysis for what it is. I'm not building a case one direction or the other. I'm giving you both the bullish and bearish, but this is capitulation on a weekly chart on a falling wedge that broke out with a bull pullback. So that looks like it's set up for a major rally on the weekly chart, and that would be very poor for the markets if that were to happen. Let's look at the monthly chart, see if we can glean any information from the monthly chart. Here we are. Monthly chart is just a falling wedge. And if you look from where it's come from, look at this, drop, 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 and a rolling over to the upside, falling wedge, large volume right here in the last month, still big volume, or October. 2 months prior, huge volume to that upside. So I see that soon this thing could be breaking out to the upside, and look for a falling wedge breakout to the upside. Gang, I hope that I've earned your trust to share the video, spread the word, like the video. All the best to each and every one of you. We'll see you next week.